What's going on, crew? Welcome to this review on this strategy session with our man Brian. Let me just put this like this. Let's go through it.
My name's Brian Stephen. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
And so you had a conversation with Pato.
Yeah,
Recently as
exactly.
well. Amazing. And just basically had a conversation with him before I hopped into the call. So I'd just like to share with you what he's mentioned as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So basically before I hopped into the call, so he was saying that basically at the moment you're also like in sales and sort of like in the crypto space at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I work in crypto sales at the moment.
Got you. Amazing. And obviously with something like appointment setting, you're looking to see how kind of this will work and if you can actually sort of benefit from this kind of thing. So obviously making maybe potentially earning a little bit more or something similar and then possibly making that transition.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would definitely want to be earning more than what I would be doing now. Yeah, that would be the.
All good. All in all, very, very good. Very high score, scale of 1 to 10. Couple of things. You tend to say a lot of amazing, amazing, amazing. So just be aware of that to just reduce it so it doesn't turn out into a pattern in that sense. But nothing crazy, okay? This is like me nitpicking. Obviously, the same. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. I will just remove that. Yeah, it's just not needed. But all in all, the intro, pretty good. You're going for the North Star, and then you're just landing into the problem, into the pain.
Be the goal.
Yeah.
And also
yeah.
to have more freedom over
Look at the
time.
time. Less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Essentially, so it's a little bit more sort of like location freedom, so that you can just be anywhere you want, sort of thing, and
Fine.
obviously whilst earning the amount of money that
All right, so Brian knows how to do the intro, so this is good. So
you want. Is that the main considering something like this? Is like, so why appointment setting specifically? Because I mean, you can.
Okay, so in this case, he saw that the triager didn't cover vehicle education, so now he's covering vehicle education. Okay, so the most important thing is that we get a good answer. It's not like, oh, I asked the question. It's like we need to get a good answer.
And technically do what you're doing, right? There's a crypto space, you can have that location freedom with doing that. So why appointment setting? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I want to see what the opportunity is, how it's different from what I'm doing now, learn more about what's possible, and yeah, that's the reason.
Sure.
That's not a good answer. Yeah, I'm just looking at my options, see what I can learn, to see if I can make as much as possible. So yeah, that's why I'm here. That's not a good answer. We want something tangible that reveals that this person is actually educated about the vehicle and he has his own reasons why this vehicle as opposed to any other vehicle. Okay?
Got you. And have you
Brian recognized this. See, he sees this, so then he stays. He stays in vehicle education because he wants a good answer.
seen the pre-meeting materials, like the video materials beforehand, or have you managed to?
Yes, I went over it. I don't think I've finished all of it, but the largest part, yes.
Got you. Okay, so you do understand what appointment setting is and what it entails and everything, or I mean, is it pretty clear for you? Or?
Well, I mean, how I would describe it to somebody else in a few sentences is to set the appointments or make the pre.
Big distinction here that also shows that you're an expert and you are an authority. When you're explaining it, specifically point out that it's DM setting. That what we do is we specialize in DM setting. So it's you typing messages. You can say taking care of the inbox of an influencer. For example, just think about an influencer, this and this and that. He doesn't have time to just go over the hundreds of messages, and he wants to. That's not his job. So that's why you come in and you just handle their inbox.
Sales call for programs or other high ticket sales.
Yep. So essentially, you are the one setting up the appointments, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So
Setting up the appointments from the DMs.
Why is it that you want to transition to like possibly becoming an appointment setter then?
Okay. Why is it that you're considering becoming an appointment setter for this transition then? And why do you want to transition? You said possibly, so you neutralize it. Good. That's good. Okay. But it's like, yeah. I think about the question just so that we can get like the better your questions are, the better reply you're going to get.
Like, why not just spend
Again, all good, All good with Brian so far.
more time in crypto? Because you could technically, I suppose, make the amount of money that you want, right? So is it just that you want to find out other things, or was there...
Yeah, so this tone is a little bit of confrontative tone, okay? So might get you in trouble because you're assuming, right? So just use a more curiosity tone and a more curiosity-based language. What's the main reason behind considering appointment setting? I guess like just wondering, cannot you get to where you want to go with what you're currently doing? Help me understand, right? As opposed to, obviously you're doing this, this, and this. You could just make a lot of money there. So why appointment setting? You see how it's just a little bit confrontational? Like a little bit. It's not like the end of the world, but do you wanna be smoother, butter smooth? this is something you can do.
Well,
that you
I'm
can't do
currently
it?
not paid on a commission base. So I mean, if I spend more time or whatever, then it wouldn't necessarily increase my salary.
Right.
And also with
That's good. Now we're getting problems.
crypto, it's extremely volatile.
I'm not paid a commission base. Extremely volatile. Now we're getting the meat.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've watched the market the last year and a half. It's basically
Yeah, oof, yeah, I know. I'm not a crypto expert, but yeah, it seems like everything's going downhill. Yo, seems like a trouble there, right? This is like, kind of like, putting the pain out there.
been going down and down and down.
Yeah.
So I want to have something that's a bit less volatile or that provides value even in volatile markets. And I mean, that's the tricky thing with crypto is that it's all up and down, and then people are not extremely interested. So
Yeah, got you. So it doesn't put you in a position of like stability or security in that sense, like moving forward, or
Good,
is
good
that right?
feeling. So what I'm hearing is that you don't have this and this and this.
one thing
It has to be uncomfortable for them, guys. It has to be uncomfortable for them. That's the whole point.
is like my input doesn't impact my output that much.
Got you.
So
I see. So then it's kind of like you're capped in terms of like your income potential, because it doesn't matter how much you do. Yeah, exactly. Got it. Okay, I can see now. I can connect the dots. Got it. And then boom.
I'm like 80% of my output is going to depend on what the crypto.
All right, no worries then. So so essentially, let's say that you've become an appointment setter. What's the goal for you? Like, what is it that you actually want to earn?
Let me see.
What's the goal for you?
Hold on.
Yeah. So you're managing two different things then at the same, like you're working two different things at the same time. Is that right? So are they both part time, or is that like?
No, that's a full-time job.
Right. Okay. So and how many hours do you like commit to them? Like, because you said that you're doing so many hours on it. Get to that.
Oh, fine.
10,000 euros after taxes.
It's coming in on a quite consistent basis for you. Like, what is the actual goal that you'll actually like do, or what is it that you're really? I suppose people will get to that point and then they'll do as like, let's just say, monthly income as an appointment setter if they don't get to that.
10,000 euros after taxes.
Okay, so 10K, yeah. So I mean, the thing is,
Like he's asking $10,000 after taxes. I don't know. Is your goal? You telling me, right? And with this smile on your face, not confrontation. Like, well, I don't know. Like, what's your goal? Is that your goal? Right? It's just like, tell me where you're going with certainty.
is that you probably have seen the videos, and of course there are people that are making 10, 15Ks per month, that sort of stuff. So definitely doable in regards to that. But I guess it's like, let's just say that you're able to make 10K per month, right? It's coming in on a quite consistent basis for you. Like, what is the actual goal that you'll actually like do, or what is it that you're really? I suppose people will get to that point and then they'll do this sort of thing.
Yeah. So this is more efficiency of the questions and having like a clear structure of questions that you're gonna ask. And that way you don't drag your questions. Okay, so let's say that you were able to make it. You know, the appointment setting is the where to be the springboard for you. What will be the first goal as far as monthly income? 10K. Got it. 10K. Yeah, that's like around a number. Okay, so let's say that you're having $10,000 per month coming in. You know, because of what you're doing as an appointment setter, and that's consistent every single month. You will see like $10,000 in your bank account. I guess like, what would that kind of money do for you at that level? Like, what would be different? Now we start to, point out to the emotion. Like, okay, what that is going to mean for you.
So what's the goal for you essentially? Like, what would you do with that?
Right now, it's like, what's the goal again? Okay, you're making 10K. Like, what's the goal? And it's like, well, how do you mean by the goal? Like, more money, or like, you know what I mean? So it's just like making more efficient questions. It's like, okay, $10,000 per month. Let's say you're making $10,000. Paint that picture for them, and then go for the question: what will that kind of money do for you? And if they if they've shared already problems, put those problems in the question so you don't receive the same answer. So okay, so let's say you're making $10,000 per month. It's consistent every single month. Blah 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 blah. Well, obviously you say a lot. Obviously, so then I would say, besides. Okay, it's consistent every month. So I guess like at that stage, besides being able to leave your job and not having to rely on a 9 to 5, what would that kind of money do for you? Right? Everything you say after besides, you're preventing them using that as an answer. Because if you go, what would that kind of money do for you? They say, yeah, like I said, I will leave my job. But if you say, besides leaving your job and besides not needing, now besides being your own boss, what would that kind of money do for you? Right? Boom.
That type of money coming in.
Well, travel for a large part, and for another part, also invest it.
Do you see? This is a very skeptical prospect. Okay, so do you see how he's answering the questions with a question? I want you to see this because this is like a little bit more advanced and allows you to read the person.
Well, travel.
Well, travel. Well, travel is a question. I don't want uncertainty in your answers. Like, I would point that out. Travel. How do you mean travel? Right? It's like I would just attack that. Like, why are you saying that as a with upward inflecting tone? Like, why are you questioning if that is even a goal for you? Does that make sense?
For a large part, and for another part, also.
Or you can say travel. Yeah, travel will be great. Why? Why would travel be great? You know, it's just like attacking, like probing, going deeper into
Invest
that.
it.
Okay. Is there anything else? Or?
You see, like we're not probing. We need to probe. That's how we get to the pleasure, to the emotion. Travel, like why travel? How do you mean by travel? Is that important to you? Got it. Why? Oh, I see. Where would you go? What would be the first place would you go if you were able to have that lifestyle? Oh, why Brazil? Oh, I see. Okay, and now you go. Anything else?
Well, buy a house at some point, but
Yeah,
See, it's like you see the answer. Buy a house at some point, but right? He might be even asking himself, why these questions are relevant. What do you do if someone asks you that? You need to be prepared.
Got you. Okay, so just traveling and being able to.
It's surface level. This is surface level conversation. It's not working. We gotta go into the emotion. Okay, so if they say buy a house, maybe. Well, do you want a house? Yeah, I do. Why? Why that is important to you? Right? It's just like go deep, get the emotion.
To sort of just like invest in. Is it same getting into?
well, I mean, what
crypto
are you
again?
doing with your money?
Well, basically, I'm starting a family.
Right? This is a sign of a skeptical. Oh, what would you do? It's like, well, everybody's different. I value this, and this. I guess. What do you value? All right.
Family and stuff.
Because again, when they ask us, they're trying to put the focus out of them and put the focus on us. But who is the main character in this conversation? Them. So we'll just put the focus back on them. We just answer or deflect, and then boom, we'll put the focus back on
Like
them.
that. So well, that's me anyway. But yeah, providing for like family and all of that. Traveling, obviously, there is that big aspect to it. People for some
Too much. Like for me, the biggest thing is being able to support my family. That's the biggest driver for me. What's the biggest driver for you? Boom.
people, it's like paying student debts and all of that stuff. You know, providing for their parents and
Too much.
retiring them, all of that
Yeah,
sort of
too
stuff.
much.
So I don't know if that's something similar to you, or is it just mainly that you want to travel and like do these things, or was there anything else particular? Or?
Yeah, so it seems like you don't care. You're asking for the sake of asking. Again, I just want to preface this. Brian is doing a really good job, okay? In general, really good. It's just things that you can improve. So don't downplay this part. Don't downplay it. It is important, okay? So just don't, it's just like traveling and this and this and this. It's just that. You're downplaying that this moment. You don't have to downplay it. This is the moment. This is all about the vision. Where do you want to go? How do you want your life to look like? To look like? Of course, don't be super excited about it, but don't downplay it that way. It's not gonna help you.
Yeah, I mean, mainly those things. I mean, I do have some student loans as well, so pay that off. So
You see, like the person is just trying to create space. He doesn't want to connect. He doesn't want to share. He doesn't want to open up. There's nothing we can do with that. That a person in that state is never gonna buy. Is never gonna make a certain decision from a place of certainty and clarity. You need to be able to see this.
Got you. Okay, so you will also use it with that because I mean it's a good amount of money.
By the way, identity and energy from Brian, really good, very staccato, downward inflecting, is really good.
I mean, traveling you could do a good amount of traveling with
Good
that.
camera presence as well.
But I guess the reason why I'm asking this question, Stefan, is that we have these calls with people and they're like, okay, why do you want to make that in like 10K? Cool. Why? And they're like, I don't know. I think everyone wants to be in 10K. It's like, yeah, but what would you actually specifically do, right? So,
well, I mean, I like nice
There you go. Good. Brian saw this is just surface level. Give me the goods. So he stayed there. Great job.
things. So I like to travel. I
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of friends all over the world. I
You
have
see how the guy smiles like, okay, let me tell you. Now we're getting.
family that like are also living in South America.
Nice.
So I'd like to be able to like go and visit them.
And then you just kind of like engage with them. Stuff nice. Okay. It's like, oh yeah, really? Oh, okay. So is that important to you? Yeah. It's just like, be with them. Cool. No, that's a great driver. What else? Sorry, I cut you off. It's just like engage with their vision.
When it's like cold here in the
You see the facial expression, their posture is changing now from like more defensive now. Boom, that's how they open up, right? You need to be able to see this so that you can know how to conduct the call.
Yeah, it's raining right now. Yeah.
I mean, now I just came back outside.
Smile,
I'd like to like spend some time over there when it's warmer over there. So yeah, these kind of things.
Yeah.
So
good. This is good. This moment is
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so mainly travel.
Okay, yeah, that's something worthwhile. Pushing obstacles for. Like that's something that is worthwhile. Just going through different walls, challenges. That's what I'm talking about. Got it. It's like there's a reason why I'm asking you this. You know what I mean? It's just not me asking for the sake of asking.
Traveling then, which is obviously a good chunk of that from because you want location freedom. So I suppose that in gold medals, right? That's his thing.
Okay, now we go into consequence. I'm gonna cover consequence here. Managed to kind of like get decent consequence here. I already saw this.
And not getting energy out of what you're doing.
And then what happens here in this call, which is the main thing in this call, it's like Brian notices how this person is skeptical, is not sure, is uncertain about appointment setting, about even us, the brand. Right? So then he attacks that right away, which is the biggest thing of this call and why I'm doing this call recording, so that you can gain that awareness of, hey, it's just like, I'm not going to go from discovery to presentation if you don't earn it. Okay, if you show up and you are not properly educated, you don't have good answers, why would I, break down the process if you are not even sure if appointment setting is in your top 3 of options you're considering? Does that make sense? It's just like you have to be there already. If not, I'm just gonna push you back, give you some resources, and come back once you are in a mental place where appointment setting is something I'm highly considering, and investing in coaching and mentoring is something that I am highly considering.
Energy? How do you mean by that?
Well, not being excited about where you go. And I mean, I'm looking for a new challenge.
Okay, got you. Okay, point where you want to make that change then, possibly, for you at this point.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be having this call, would we?
You sure? Because I mean, I don't know.
When they like this kind of attitude is like a skeptical buyer, so I want you to see those things. That's why I'm gonna send you the recording of this call, so that you can, see when someone is skeptical, someone doesn't trust the brand yet, hasn't gone through the process of getting educated about the vehicle, right? So it's just like they're not showing up in the right state, so you need to be able to be aware of that, so that you just don't push them. You don't walk them through phase 2 presentation if those things that in discovery needs to be in place are not in place. Then you cannot move forward, which is what Brian did.
No, because I don't want to put words into your mouth. So is it or?
No, I mean,
It's like, when people go like that, otherwise why am I in this call? Yeah, I'm with you, but you'll be surprised how many bored people are out there. It's like, so, and of course I don't want to assume anything. So that's why I would just rather ask, boom, great.
I mean, I want to learn what you have to offer, see how this would work, see if it will be something that I believe in, that I trust. So yeah.
Okay.
That's the red flag right there. And Brian, great job. You were able to catch that.
So what would make you believe in it then, into something like this?
Boom. This is
what does that look like, essentially?
I think for me, I'd like to speak.
Because average closers, they make the mistakes. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Let me walk you through it, right? Boom, and then you got to think about it.
To 1 or 2 people that have completed the training and have gone through the course, and speak to them and see if they're what they would recommend about it, what they would not recommend about it, and hear their story and how they're doing right now.
Okay. So
that's what I wanted to get. The typical objection of, we're not even in presentation, and the guy's already asking, can I speak to other students of yours? All right. So first of all, probing. We always want to probe when we get this objection. Yeah, sure. So help me understand, like, what are you looking to find out? Like, what's on your mind? Like, what are you looking for? By speaking with someone who has been in the program or whatever. Just help me understand. just to see if I can help you.
So I mean that was provided in some of the meeting materials. Did you?
This is good. It's like, yeah, that's actually what we cover in the pre-meeting resources, like the stories of our students, how, their journey, basically. Were you able to go through that? Good. That's good, because that's part of the homework. So this question shouldn't be even a question here. You know what I mean? So good, Brian.
Managed to see some of them as well.
Yeah, I saw some of them, but I mean, I've worked in the crypto industry, and everything is big and nice and nicely documented. And I can make a website that has all these things and has a bunch of testimonials and everything like this.
Okay,
but
got it. So then, like, John, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, what you're saying is that the 275 videos of students that we have right there, you're saying that those people could be actors? Is that what you're saying? No, I'm not saying that, but it's like, well, I don't know. You tell me. It's just like, no, I'm not saying that, but it's just like da 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 da. Got it. Okay. No, it's fine. It's okay. Because like if you believe those people are actors, then it's what you believe. It's like, what can I do about it? You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. Okay. So, but you make it like almost like ridiculous. It's like, are you telling me that that's one way to do it, right? Another way to do it is this is skepticism. Okay, just so you know, it's skepticism. I'm a skeptical, and the reason why you are a skeptical is because you haven't had enough relationship with the brand and through the materials and with us and with Bastian's profile and there's like that's missing. That's creating, that skepticism, right? How do we combat skepticism with a relationship, with nurturing? All right, so that tells me this guy didn't go through the full materials, didn't go through the full things, right? You should have answers why you trust us. You shouldn't ask me you shouldn't ask me. You shouldn't show up to this call not knowing if you should trust us or not. That's your responsibility. It's the prospect responsibility.
I mean, the craze in crypto is trust but verify. So
trust but verify? Like, how do you mean by trust but verify, right? It's just like bullshit. Yeah, if I can speak with someone, I will have that verified. Got it. So transparently speaking, if you ask me that you're going to base all of our judgment into speaking into some clients, do you think I'm going to send you a bad one? Right? It's like, do you think I'm really going to send you a bad one? And you just make it stupid. It's just like, you do this. Like, do you think I'm going to send you a bad one or I'm going to send you the best one? Yeah, that's right. Of course, like, I am going to send you the best ones that are going to tell you exactly everything you want to hear. And I don't feel good about that. Like, because it's like, it's very, very fixated. Do you know what I mean? And also, you're going to create expectations on somebody else's journey where everybody's different here. It's almost like if I work with a coach, a fitness coach that has worked with a lot of people, and everybody has different metabolism. You know what I mean? And so that's why one of the things that we do to avoid people comparing themselves with our students is we have the students, recording these videos so that they can put it in the wall, in the page, so that they can share their story. And also we would tell people, hey, these are our students' story. Everybody's different. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right? It's like, yeah, that makes sense. And then boom, you go into what's behind that. What's behind that? I don't trust you. Okay, that's fine. Like, what any red flags have you seen so far from us that, might raise an eyebrow, if anything? No, nothing. Okay. So if you haven't seen any red flags, then like how that I'm not sure if I trust you or not is being supported. Just so I understand. Well, this and this. I see, got it. And then you can do a reframe of the car accident, of bad experience with the relationship, because at the end of the day is that you don't want to trust. But we're not gonna say that. We're gonna use a reframe. That's how you get over this.
That's what I would like to do.
Gotcha. So you want more information from students within the community?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, and I'm running out of time, so I will just go through something real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so the last thing is this part in the video where
do you feel that?
I'll just walk you through
Okay,
it.
and how is it? So are you?
Well, I'm gonna send you the link. So you're gonna see how in this part of the video, towards the end, the prospect starts to ask questions, and Brian starts going down a spiral of prospect ask, Brian answer, prospect ask, Brian answered. And it's like 5 minutes of the prospect controlling the conversation. So you want to stay away from that. So every time someone, especially once the price drop is in the equation, which is not the case, but especially there, every time someone, and again, by this stage, we already know the prospect is skeptical. Like, we already know that. Like, the assessment should have already been made. This person needs to be put through a nurturing sequence to fully understand what we do, why we do it, why we're different, so the prospect trusts us. But whenever you see one question from the prospect, all the time you need to ask yourself, we know by this principle, the one who asks the questions controls the conversation and controls the focus of the conversation, because that's the power of questions. So when the biggest mistake is when someone asks us a question, we go directly, we just fall under that question, and now we start being controlled. Our focus starts to be conditioned because someone asked a question, and now like we're thinking about the answer. I want you to go over that. I don't want you to be affected by that. When someone asks you a question, first thing you need to think is this a question I should be answering, or is this a question I should be probing? Because it seems like it's not the real question. It seems like there is something else behind it. All right? And that's very important for you to do right at the beginning when someone asks you a question, because if you don't ask yourself that question, you're gonna you're gonna create the pattern. You're gonna answer, then they're gonna go, oh, how about this? You're gonna answer, how about this? And now there's a pattern. They're asking questions, you're replying. They're asking questions. It's harder to get out of that. Okay, you can do it with one. They ask you one question, you reply. Then the second one, you're thinking, hey, yeah, that's a great question. What's behind that? Like, or you can even say, oh, yeah, that's a good question. It's just super specific. What are you looking for? Just so that I can just give you like the full picture, right? That's one way to probe into that question. Okay, yeah, that's a great question. What are you looking for? Like, what's the big picture in your mind? Just so I can just give you all the information, right? Or, yeah, that's a great question. What's the reason behind it? Just so I can understand. And people will tell you the reason behind it. People say, yeah, I'm just trying to understand, like, how profitable is this? That's the question, okay? And then there's, like, a lot of things he asked that was the wrong question, like the prospect. And here's the thing. And this is something you need to understand. The prospects, they have gaps in their mind of information that you're trying to fill out. But they don't know how to do it because this is new for them. So they don't know what questions to ask to fill in those gaps. They don't know, right? So then they would just ask whatever they feel is appropriate. And the problem is that, number one, they don't know how to ask the right question to get the right information. And number two, if we just answer those questions, then we're just feeding a pattern of wasting time because, again, they don't know what questions to ask, and then we're answering dumb questions that puts us away from the real question. So you really need to be aware of that and be the expert there and say, that's a very specific question. Where's that coming from? Just so I can see the big picture, I can just give you the proper answer. Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to understand this. And then we'll go, yeah, but what's behind that? Like, why do you want to understand this? Oh, because I want to see how profitable is the model. Boom. That is the question, for example. Very, very important to avoid ending in these spirals where the prospect is constantly asking you questions. You feel like, oh, now I am interrogated. It's because you allow that to happen because you get sucked by the questions. Just don't get sucked by the questions. Just first think, is this a question I should be answering? Is this a question I should be probing into? Okay?